I just want to briefly go over what exactly it is that I do, and this is going to be in brief and in as few words as possible. You may know that I'm a speaker, and that's what I do, but what exactly goes on? So let me try to do this as fast as I possibly can. First of all, here's what I offer. There are three basic offerings that I have. The first one is the keynote speech, the second one, the workshop, the third one, the home study course. Keynote speeches are usually an hour or under, and the purpose of that is to inspire audiences. The workshops are when I do like a half day, usually a 3 hour type of meeting and get together in the classroom, and the purpose of that is to get people competent. And then I have home study courses where a person can buy pre-recorded lectures and pre-recorded classes to be able to take home and really master the skills that I'm able to give through my products. So that's pretty much what I do as far as what I offer. You're probably then thinking, what are exactly are the subjects that I have? Before I talk about that, let me talk about one other offering that I have. These are Damien's monthly full day workshops. For these, what happens is that we would rent out a conference center, and then in that conference center, we would invite people to come and to register, pay for tickets, and then when they get there, we have a full day workshop. So instead of it being on site where I go into the person's business and we have something in the conference room, and instead of it being at a meeting that somebody else plans, this is a special one-day event, and I do these monthly. So now let's talk about the topics that I talk about. These are just the general. Oh, this is just a general overview of the different topics. Underneath each one of these main sections, I have a number of different subjects. But these are the audiences and the topics that I talk about. I talk about small business. And with that, I talk about starting a small business, scaling a small business, digital marketing for small business, and also how to manage a small business. This is especially for people that may not have the title business person in their repertoire. But what they are doing is that they're trying to do something and build something for themselves. So I speak to small business people. In the same vein, I speak to solopreneurs. These are people that are doing something pretty much on their own, freelancers and other small businesses. And I try to get them to know what the road might be like as they move ahead and how they can develop the tenacity necessary to move forward. On the other side, I talk about subjects relating to the corporate environment as well, because they also need a little bit of help. Now, for me, I'm not an expert in that many things, but I do consider myself a business expert and then also an expert on soft skills. So for things like that, I talk about the essential skills for success. And soft skills are things like communication, presentation skills, creativity, time management, those type of soft skills. And finally, I also discuss project management because in today's world, a lot of the work that we have to do are in projects, and being an effective manager of project, whether or not you have project manager in your title, is essential. So those are the subjects. Where do I speak now? The first place on the left side is going to be businesses. This is when a business would invite me to come in and I will talk to them. That's a paid event, and usually around, I don't want to give a value because the prices are always going to be changing, but stay with me long enough and you'll be able to see where the prices are. So that's on the business side. And then you also have conferences. This is when people put together meetings and events. They invite people out and they need someone to come and speak for them. Sometimes these might be breakout sessions. Sometimes they might be plenary sessions, and sometimes they might be keynotes. But these are just conferences. Usually these are annual conferences. So we want to get ahead of these at least a year in advance. And then there are association meetings where there's an association for just about everything. And I'm going to be a person that speaks for some of these associations if I'm a good fit. Now, of course, if I'm not a good fit, I don't want to really be there. For example, there is an association for Cadillac owners. I don't own a Cadillac, and I wouldn't know exactly where I would fit in there. But if I'm a good fit, I would love to be there. There are also some unpaid speaking gigs that I can get. So these are things like local groups, Rotary clubs, meetup groups, or even other groups that might be community oriented, like the Boys and Girls Club of America, where I can actually give some type of value. They might not pay, but it's great to be able to do these things, and who knows where it's going to lead. And then there are the TEDx Talks, which are really big brand building stages, and it's just a great place that I would love to be. So we can go ahead and do TEDx Talks, and that's another place that I speak. Also, another way to get speeches or gigs is using the call for speakers. Just search whatever call for speakers are open and then put my name in the hat and see if I get selected. So that's what I have for now. I'm hoping that this gives you a little bit of an overview of what I do in business and where I intend to head, and I'm glad to have you along for this journey.